The other night the topic came up of survivors of sexual abuse versus victims of sexual abuse. And as far as I'm concerned, they're one and the same. If you've been sexually abused, you were a victim of sexual abuse. You were a victim of sexual abuse. If you're alive, you're a survivor of it. Doesn't mean your life was actually worth living. No matter how hard you fought, and no matter what you overcame. I'm pretty sure I have gone over this in the past, actually. And it's not self-pity, although I feel robbed of a life. It's coming to an end, and I have not had anything remotely resembling a normal life. By the time I started school, I was really not fit to mix with other children. I didn't know how other children worked. I wasn't on their wavelength. I couldn't communicate with them. I didn't know how to play with them. I didn't know what the Wendy house was for. I got a lot of gold stars and stuff, which also didn't go down particularly well with other children. It was actually 2 years before I made a friend in school. So that's by the age of 5. Between the ages of 8 and 15, as I definitely have said in another video, I was fighting with bullies. And no, it wasn't physical fighting. I was lucky in that respect, I was lucky in that respect. But I thought nothing of taking on 10, 11, 12 boys in the playground verbally. And whatever they shouted at me, I would shout back at them. Nothing in my behaviour was remotely normal at any point in my childhood, but then nothing in my childhood was remotely normal. The whole time I had my father to contend with. And he did live his life by the book The Might is Right, which I have mentioned in another video. The Nazis also modelled themselves on it, as did Anton Szandor-Lavey, because it was the same book as Might is Right. The Satanic Bible, as I've said, was the same book as Might is Right. I can only think that, Hitler Youth everyone in Hitler Youth was issued with that book, i.e. my father among them. That book makes it very, very clear that females are for sexual pleasure and for reproduction and should on no account be educated. So on the one hand, I had parents who were so proud of my so-called cleverness that I now find my brother felt not quite good enough in that respect, which is a joke on both of us, a very sick joke on both of us, because I was not allowed to pursue my education. My father obviously knew clearly that I was a year younger than everyone else in my class, and that I would therefore take the 11 plus at 10. I don't think it's coincidence that he gave me arsenic on my 10th birthday. Had that been successful, then clearly I wouldn't have taken the 11 plus. He did not want me to go to grammar school because girls should not be educated. And although I passed the 11 plus at 10 and 3 months, I did not go to grammar school. Although the next door neighbour's 2 daughters, who passed it also, did. It only took a little bit of fighting on the parents' part. Although the father of the girls next door was in the CID, so perhaps it also took a little bit of nepotism. Anyway, I went to a very decent secondary modern, and as I unfortunately made clear in a video the other day, it did not teach Latin. I meant modus operandi. Anyway, then, let me see. Because I went to a secondary modern school, the bullies from the junior school came with me, because very few of them passed the 11 plus. It was the last thing I wanted. I'd wanted very much, obviously, to go to grammar school. Worked very hard to do it, and had hoped that I would escape those blasted boys who made my life a misery for 7 ruddy years. I still hate them. I'm 61 years old and I still hate those boys. I have the perspective of a grandmother, I have a grandson, but those particular boys I still hate now. So then we come to O-levels. And just before my O-levels, my father gave me crab lice, which drove me mad not only because of the nature of the beast, but because I couldn't figure out how I'd got them. I thought I was a virgin. I didn't equate what my father did with sex. So that's my 11 plus that I passed wasted. All the work I put in secondary one also wasted. Years later, I went back and did O-levels at evening classes, which my father did or I did. I got A's for every single one. Well, no, not quite. Virtually every single one. And of course that was easy because I was doing them one at a time. Anyone could do it, he said, if they did it one at a time. So then I went on to do A-levels full-time with 16 to 18-year-olds in exactly the same way that every other person does A-levels, except that I was 21 years older. Full-time. And I was selected to do an S-level as well, which stood for scholarship or some such. It was a level higher than A-level. And I got a distinction at it. In spite of the fact that my father took me to court for contact with my younger daughter 1 month before my S-level and 2 months before my A-levels. Strange timing. And while I speculate endlessly about my father's murder of Fiona, and he did murder her. Again, there were so many bonuses for him. I'm sorry. This was 4 months into my degree. And I had been told by then to aim for first, and I was aiming for first, and actually I got the first, but nearly missed it. Every single time. I'm sorry to include a murder in this monologue about what my father did to me and to my life. But the timing was very good for him, because it damn nearly wrecked my degree. As I said on another video just now that I haven't uploaded, it was also at the beginning of my awakening, if you like, as a lesbian, and socialising in that circle, and making friends in university. So there's my education that he tried his damnedest to destroy. And no matter how hard I tried, he would always do something so completely beyond the bounds of anything that you had to shut down or go nuts. And then I have listed, the immediate effects of the crab lice. The effects of the arsenic poisoning mentally were not immediate. I don't think so. Although I would have to class myself as having been depressed throughout my time in secondary school from the age of 11 to 15. So the crab lice just finished me off, actually. But what was the result? I had obsessive compulsive disorder. I had self-harm. I tried to kill myself. I became a boozer, an alcoholic. I had anorexia. I had bulimia. I had agoraphobia for 13 years. Claustrophobia, I've still got that. Perhaps it's stating the obvious to say that with all of that going on, you're not going to be the world's best mother either. So my kids missed out on a good mother, and I missed out a lot on my kids. Which now my life is ending, and it makes it sound as if I didn't regret it before. I certainly did, but doubly now. I had two beautiful daughters, and didn't do right by them, didn't have a normal family life with them, and although I do have to take responsibility for my own actions, life would have been an awful lot easier if I had not had to contend with my father and his actions until he disappeared from my life just before my 40th birthday. Life has not been pretty. It has not been a picnic. And actually, fuck survival. Fuck survival. It ain't good enough.